Hey, number one. So, as you know, we've been following along this whole conundrum, this whole situation with Sam Piker and his dog, right? And everyone, literally, even people I wasn't expecting, has been going very harshly in condemnation, right? We're all joining in condemnation of this freaking obnoxious champagne socialist that Piker is. Of course, everyone in the right is jumping into the bandwagon, obviously, but I've seen lefties getting really angry and even freaking critical, who is pretty milquetoast, right? Usually he avoids this kind of politically charged things. You know, he has a lot of, by his own admission, critical has a lot of the grass is green takes. Although I have to say he did condemn the assassination of Charlie Kirk, so he gained a lot of points with me. I do watch Critical. He has made some statements in the past and I was like, absolutely not when it came to transgender kids, but then he qualified it. So after he qualified it, I believed him because I always give people the benefit of the doubt. Regardless, we can address that on a separate day. But in general, I like Charlie. I think he's a very generous man. Anyways, even he condemned, attacked Hassan Piker. Even him. But you know who didn't? Let's watch, shall we? Let's watch.
DeFranco Show. You daily dive into the news. It is Wednesday. There is a lot to talk about. And in fact, you're getting a double dose today. You're getting this, and I just uploaded episode 2 of my brand new podcast, Crashing Out, where explained in the title, I crashed out.
Was that Taylor Swift with a MAGA hat? I'll have to watch that. Is it because of her new album? Okay, he's starting with, maybe we'll talk about that another day, but for now, let's see the situation.
Things that do and do not matter. Apparently, Taylor Swift's new album, it's her MAGA coming out party. So after this video, definitely check it out. Links, of course, in the description.
I will.
But we really do have so much we need to talk about today, starting with this. Let's talk about this Hassan Piker controversy and backlash. Because while Hassan, who's a political commentator, often pops up into the news over a political take, this time he was trending everywhere over this clip.
But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's this.
No, you know what's emblematic, guys? Sorry to interrupt. That Philip DeFranco has decided to blur Hassan Piker's chat. Why? Because they're a bunch of terrorists. That's what they are. They're insane. Yeah, honestly, I think Hassan Piker has got like the worst that the left has to show. So, of course, Philip DeFranco is going to blur it. Of course, he's going to blur it.
Same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just just stop. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're being such a baby.
There's that sudden yelp after Hassan seems to reach off camera. It's led many to claim that he was using a shock collar against his dog, or with many also now demanding that Twitch ban him. And then to back up these claims, you've had people pointing to things such as zooming in on the collar and saying it's not a normal one. With other big streamers in the space like XQC looking at old footage that apparently showed the collar blinking. Others have also gone further back to find old clips of Hassan admitting that he owns a shock collar. So this also, as you had many noting in the clip, he says,
my old roommate wanted to use a shock collar for Fish and his dogs. For Fish and his dogs barking. I couldn't do it. I have it still. I bought it. They are incredibly effective.
But then also, in addition to that, some of the clips that people found, they're not necessarily about a shock collar per se, but instead how tight the collar is.
And now it's mainstream. I love her. I think her collar's too tight.
Yeah.
Well, it's here we get.
It's you have to be able to get 2 fingers, and I couldn't even get one. I think you're choking her.
She's like,
It's because she has a lot of neck meat.
Also, another angle here is you had people critical of Hassan saying that they felt like the dog Kaya was being used as a prop and essentially forced to.
Of course she is. Absolutely. They demonstrated that. That's not some people said. They demonstrated. They sped up the stream. The dog has to stay there as a prop for hours after hours after hours. And all she needs to do to upset Hassan Piker is to get up and walk 3 centimeters. That's a fact. That's a fact, Philip DeFranco.
Stay in frame. But then there you also had plenty of people scrubbing through the video saying you can see large amounts of time where she's just not there at all. Right, and all of this, it's playing out while you have a lot of people going after Hassan. You also have a group of people defending it. Right, and for this group,
Yeah, those are called his sick fans.
the general consensus is that maybe Kaya caught her dew claw on the bed, and that's
Oh, you gotta be joking. The general consensus of who? Come on, Philip DeFranco. Unbelievable. The general consensus is that Kaya just so happened to get her claw stuck into the thing, and that's why she yelped in the precise moment when the guy reaches out. We hear a click. We know he owns that kind of collar, and he's not even showing. What about the pictures that have been enhanced after he showed the collar? It's unbelievable if he doesn't show that. He's got to show that, right? There is no... the general consensus is that the dog. That's the general consensus. And then there are a bunch of tankies that are shilling for Mr. Piker. And usually the way that looks is either they deny completely or they go into whataboutism, what about the genocide in Gaza? That's how that looks, right?
Caused her to yelp, or with people showing the clip in slow motion. And you also saw people having takes like, she clips her paw, it's very obvious, saying you are willfully dumber than a dog if you choose to believe this and care more about imagining the suffering of a single animal than millions of Palestinians.
Yeah, that's so condescending. It's a logical fallacy. I have our dedicated video link in the description. Please support that video called Whataboutism is Pure Hypocrisy, and I dissect it inch by inch. This, in fact, makes it worse when it comes to the cause of the Palestinians because they use it as an anti-discussion shield. They're literally using the dead Palestinian corpses as a shield for you're not allowed to complain about anything else. Anything else. What? Someone, Irina Tsaruska got killed and you care about that? Is while there are people, Palestine being genocide. Literally, he could, at this point, he could have taken a shotgun and shot the dog, as he, by the way, said he would, not with a shotgun, but he said he would KILL his previous dog, and he said that he would unalive the dog. This is clipped in front of the Twitch chat because the dog wasn't obeying. I have the clip. I can show you. I'll show you in a second. So at this point, he could do that, and they would still tell you, but what about the millions? You have to call this out, Philip DeFranco.
But that then had its own pushback and backlash with creators like Asmongold, for example, saying, you guys really need to stop invoking Palestine every time someone you like gets criticized. It doesn't help you, and it certainly doesn't help Palestinians. It has nothing to do with this topic, and you're effectively using their suffering as a shield for bad behavior. And then, as far as Hassan's response here, I actually reached out for a comment and reaction. And so with that, he called this one of the most insane brigades he's ever seen. Then adding, I rewatched the video, and I totally get why people are angry. I should have instantly gone over to check on her. I was in full panic mode over the internet going out and the stream crashing, and I take total accountability for that. With Hassan then also talking about the allegations around the collar, as well as the allegations that he shocked the dog. Regarding the collar, he said, I have a bunch of different collars for her, including a vibrating collar for communicating with her over long distance when she's at the park, etc. Saying she was professionally trained to be off leash. That collar can't actually shock her. Adding, I didn't press anything, I didn't have any remote or anything with me. And then regarding his dog yelping, he said, I don't know what happened, but I assume it was her clipping her do nail on the corner while following the place command, but I get why it looks horrible to a person who's seeing this interaction for the first time. And then regarding people saying, the dog's just there in the background, or maybe even the dog is forced to be there, he said, Kaya is an incredibly well-trained dog and super well taken care of. She gets 2 hours of activity in the morning at the park and then another hour-long walk in the afternoon with my mom. With Hassan then adding, her place command is there so she doesn't lay on the hard ground and hurt her joints as a big dog, but she is free to do whatever. And saying people have been sequencing minor infractions to make up their own insane narratives about this. And adding, anyone that knows me or has been around me can vouch.
The gaslighting, that this man's default communicative pattern is lying. We know this. He has denied everything and anything. And now Philip DeFranco shows a cute picture of the dog. This picture doesn't tell us anything about Hassan Piker. It tells us that the dog is adorable. Full stop. I'll show you why this is annoying me so much. I'll show you.
For how I spend every waking moment with my dog and how much I love her and take care of her. But ultimately, that's where we are right now. And I'd really love to know your thoughts, because depending on where you go online, very, very different reactions. What are your thoughts, your opinions, and your reactions here? But then next up in the news...
Next step, unbelievable. Unbelievable, he went to the next step. All right, Philip DeFranco, you dropped the ball on this one. You didn't show shit. I don't make the millions of dollars that Philip DeFranco makes to do my job, right? Check this out, Mr. Philip DeFranco. How about this one? How about this one?
Stay. If you run right now, I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay? In front of everyone. Motherfucker. Come here.
What a dog lover, Philip DeFranco, yeah? No, this is exactly what it looks like when you love your dog, and then the cute picture licking your face. This, and I had to censor it because my last video got demonetized when I didn't censor the words, because he can say it and make millions, but I get demonetized. Look how he's now grabbing the tail of the dog.
Here.
Oh.
Motherfucker, come here.
As I say, listen to his words. So to summarize, if the dog doesn't obey, he will KILL it in front of everyone. His words on stream. Likewise, if conservatives don't obey, he will GUT them on the streets, fill the streets with their red capitalist BLOOD, and let their intestines RIDE. His words on stream. I personally see a correlation here, and I'm absolutely amazed, bewildered, shocked that knowing the kind of context we know about Mr. Piker and the kind of stuff that he said, that now you think that it is generally agreed with a 6.5 million subscriber baseline. You say it's generally agreed upon that he didn't do it? You're out of your mind, Philip DeFranco. Lost my respect with this one. Unbelievable. What about the chat? Let me see. Imagine peeling for a man who's yanked the tail of his other dog. Yeah, but it's also the threats. I mean, this guy threatens everything. From dogs to political adversaries to half of the population at this point. I watched the video several times and I still couldn't see the dog getting its dew claw caught. Yeah, because it didn't happen. That could not possibly have happened. Exactly. So it seems like even his audience doesn't like this, right? Shock collar or not, why is he so angry at her for standing up for literally 2 seconds? Exactly. Another thing Philip DeFranco didn't even mention. Nothing. I mean, guys, if Critical says it, Moist Critical says this, he did call him out, and Philip DeFranco didn't. Yeah, look, Phil running damage control and defense for a son, literally a word. His dog wasn't on my bingo card. Exactly. Shock collar or not, if my dog yelled out in pain like that, I would immediately rush over to see if it's okay. Obviously, yes. And also, I wanna one more point. I watched the video where Hassan Piker is addressing this, and the way he was all like, no, I mean, yeah, I can see how you would think that, but no, I have many collars. But yeah, if I do that, if I was accused of something I didn't do, I would be furious. And that's usually what cops look into, by the way, detectives. Like if you get accused straight on, you did it, and people go like, no, if I did that, I didn't do it, but even if I did, I wouldn't have left. And like this kind of situation, I would have done it this other way if I did it, but I didn't do it. When they go like this, they see it as a red flag. It doesn't automatically mean that the person is guilty. Each person reacts to severe stress differently, but it is a red flag. Instead, if someone accuses you and you know you didn't do it, you would be, you get like righteous indignation. You're like, I did not do that. What are you saying? Absolutely not. Particularly if it's like a loved one. Can you imagine that? So in this case, I'm also considering that aspect. And there's the picture. Critical showed it. Where is it? There you go. So he showed Hassan Piker as he was trying to show his innocence, right? It's gaslighting is what it is. Showed, this is the shock collar I have. As you can see, it's not the model that can shock. Instead, it's just a vibrating whatever the heck. Problem is that maybe he looked at it through his OBS, if that's what he uses, and he could see that it just looked black. But then, because people are incredible on the internet, they maxed the brightness and the contrast. And now you can see it. You can see that there is a tape here. So he did it. He taped the bottom with black tape so you couldn't see the connectors for the shock collar model. Like, you could see the tape. It's just that with the way the video was recorded, you couldn't really see it because everything was black. And he thought, he got you. Am I right, Philip DeFranco? I mean, if you can't say you don't know, because we have 3 million views here from 2 days ago because Penguin showed it. So you know it, and you didn't show it. Shameful. But here we are. Bye. Love your dogs. If you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to check out my Patreon page. With as little as a $5 support, you can help us ensure that we can continue to produce high quality and high researched content. And at the same time, you get access to polls, extra videos, unlisted streams, and much more. Thank you so much.